Okay, guys, welcome to the Grue Room show. I appreciate you both coming on the show, so thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Definitely. So, like, the first thing I wanted to ask you is watching the television show. I always love the television shows with those like little small towns because something wild always goes down. And what do you both love about being in a small town, like filming in one of those like little towns for the show?
What I like about small towns is like the lack of filter they have often because everybody knows each other's and there's this comfortability that everyone has. And whether they like them or hate them, they'll be straight up. And I think that's something that in small towns you really see. And yeah, there's a ton of really beautiful small towns through Western Pennsylvania.
Definitely.
I'm going to have to echo that. Yeah, it's sort of like an extended family. You know everybody in the town. You've been in their business since they were kids. You grow up with them just like brothers and sisters and cousins, and you treat each other that way with that kind of openness and unguardedness. And there's something to be said for that. Nobody's a phony. Nobody's a phony
That's
in a
true.
small town. You can't get away with anything.
Yeah. And I know you really can't talk about anything about this season coming up, but which scene did you both have the most fun shooting for last season?
Well, I mean, I have karaoke scenes in my in my world there in Snarly, the world of Snarly, the bar that Virgil Poe sort of takes over and starts running, and those were super fun to do.
I was gonna say the same thing. I thought that was I wasn't even doing karaoke, but I was watching it, and then at the end we kind of just goofed around a little bit. But that was really fun because we kind of got to let loose and just have fun, and it felt really like a nice juxtaposition to the rest of what the heaviness of the show.
Definitely, definitely. It's always good to have something fun when a show is serious. So it's always good to have like something fun and funny on it. And being a fan of the show, watching the show, I'm sure you both watched the show too. Is there anything from last season that you didn't see coming or shocked you?
Well, I mean, the last season left a number of balls in the air that
Yeah,
I wasn't sure Dell or Grace were going to be able to retrieve those balls and come out on the other side. So I thought that was a great way to kick off this season because there's even more trouble coming their way in the whole season. So yeah, I mean it is a cornucopia of problems to solve.
I think what surprised me, but was also kind of echoed in the first season, was how far you'll go for the people you love. And I think in the second season, it takes it another step with how what are you willing to do to move on from your past and get rid of your past. And I think that's something that continuously is echoed through a lot of the characters. And it's a really interesting question that I think a lot of people can relate to.
definitely. And the last question I will ask you is something you both talked about. It has nothing to do with the show. What is your go-to karaoke song if you were going to sing?
Oh, I mean, the one I do because it doesn't really require vocal acuity is Big Balls by AC/DC.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm not very good at karaoke, but I feel like I like Lose Yourself by Eminem, even though it's not necessarily the best karaoke song, but I don't have the best answer for you. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Well, thank you both so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.